Hey folks, Species 7 here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Farm Sim 15. If it's your first time coming for a visit, well, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy what you see. Today we are doing a map review. This is by request from a couple of different viewers. This is Sennon Valley. Let's see if they've got a proper spelling here for you. There we go. C-E-N-N-E-N, Sennon Valley. Alright, in Wales. So, very cool. This is your starting point. Generally there's a pickup here, but I left it somewhere else. In fact, I'm going to attempt a vu to find it. Was it white? Does this look right? Well, that's alright. We'll start here, because I think this is fairly... okay, well this is actually where I left having a look at the map. So if we look at our main map here, you can see it is, well, first of all, very large. Secondly, there are a lot of fields. However, most of them are not in fact arable. They're meadows, including pretty much everything we own, except I believe 15, 14, well, up in the top, right around where I am. As a matter of fact, any of the crop fields around this area. In fact, we own a lot of fields. Wow. Looks like we probably own 30 fields in total, maybe more. So there you are. That's a look at your map. It is big. There are 6 different farms, as you can see here, laid out by the different colored rings on the map. Yeah, we're currently at Land of Castle Farm, apparently. Alright, if we look at our information card, we'll see that we have only the stock crops, nothing out of the ordinary there. Oof. Pigs are $500,000 a ton. Okay, that might require a little bit of adjustment. 495,001 dollars a ton. That's pretty interesting, especially considering there aren't actually any pigs on the map. So if you can come up with a ton of pig, you can make a lot of money. However, there is beef and lamb, so there you go. You have the animal market, the biogas plant, biomass heating takes what you'd expect, Brecken Farm Supply, which will buy pretty much everything. You've got station, and there are actually a couple of them. Now, I believe the Brecken Farm Supply is also a place to store your grain as well as sell it, if what I understood from the opening intro thing on it was any indicator. Now, this is an absolutely gorgeous map. This was laid out with the that map editing thing that allows you to get actual terrain, like so far as, you know, that hill up there is in fact that much higher than this level down here. So it adds an incredible amount of realism to maps, and this map is very believable in that respect. Now the other end of things, and quite frankly, they disappointed me. There's 2 things on this map that, for all of the effort, and you can see it every step you take, for all of the effort that the map author put into this, there's a couple of things on this map that really spoil it for me. Now, one thing that does not spoil it for me, you need to come in here and push a telehandler all the way out here and unload their poop in the poop pits. Yeah. Ever since I played Glenblue, I've gone, that's the way you should be doing these things. I assume this would be your milk pickup, if there is, in fact, milk pickup. So, but yeah, you do get to dung out the barns, as it were, which is cool. I think that's a part of this whole thing. And have a good look, because these ladies here, well, they're the only thing we're going to see that's anything like a cow. Alright, let's continue on. Obviously, we've got a little bit of equipment up here. I guess this would be our milk. Yeah, there we go. Muller, and pick up the milk, yeah. Okay, awesome. A little bit of storage. We've got... well, possibly a grain tip. Alrighty. There, of course, is a silage pit for us. Nice meadow up the hill. You do require the animation map trigger, the chopped straw. Not a lot else. There was not a lot of required mods for this map. A little bit of starting gear. Not bad. Not bad. There's our slurry outflow. A little bit more gear. And, as I said, animation map trigger is required. So, there you go. I guess that's the castle itself up there. So there you are. As in all maps of this area, the roads are extremely tight. All of the hedges have collisions on them. So you will be using very small equipment. And this is a very big map. So keep that in mind as well. There's no easy way of in and outy for this one. So now, how do we actually go elsewhere? Apparently over here. Yeah, really nicely detailed. It's a gorgeous map. I said there's unfortunately a couple of things that sort of bring it down a little bit in my opinion, and to the point where I personally wouldn't play the map. Just, yeah, I know. And anyway, I'm not going to harp on the down points because there's so few of them, and everything else about this map is absolutely gorgeous. You know, you look around at the scenery, well, not everything else. Like I said, there is one other thing I find disturbing, but we'll get to that. Beyond that, though, you have pretty much everything you'd expect. There is forestry. Not a whole lot of it, but I think you're going to find you're going to concentrate a lot more on the farming and, more certainly than that, the animal end of things here. So, let's take a little further. I don't think we finished our card, did we? No, we had, look at one page. Alright, so eggs. Ooh, that's not good. 9 cents below par. Yikes. Alrighty, as you can see, they've got our gear spread out across the 6 different farms. Well, most of them. I think I took what was here. And mainly, I think that idea, that being, of course, you can tap to each farm and be able to find them. This is currently where we are. And if we look here, yeah, that couldn't get much more complicated. They're not... The fields are a little less traditional than we see on a lot of maps, but a lot more realistic. You know, there is no predefined shapes to most of these, and that's mainly because they are defined by the hedges that grow around them. Yeah, I know. Here we go. This is what we start with. And not quite ripe, most of it. There's a couple of ripe fields, I think. Maybe not. I think everything that they've actually got a crop on, they were kind enough to give you a day or two to get to. But, yeah, it's all that close. So, including quite a lot of corn. Hopefully they gave us a corn header. So here we are, chickens, cows, sheep. No missions, and I don't think any coins. And then we get beef and lamb. And one of the mods they recommend is a trailer for packing your critters. It sort of works. There's various ones at different farms, i.e. there's more than one beef fattening place, and they're not at the same farm. So what you in fact need to do is you can buy them at the store, and then it will sort of distribute them, but it distributes them around the map. So let's say this farm is the one I actually wanted to kind of call home base. Alright? The only way I could ensure that my cows end up, my fattening beasts end up here, is if I actually go to the market and buy them with a trailer and bring them here. Then they'll all be in this farm. If I simply go to my shop page and buy 50 beefs, they will split evenly amongst all of the farms that have beefs. So you'll end up, running a trailer of hay here and a trailer of hay there and a trailer of straw here and a trailer of feed there. And yeah, rather than going, all right, I'm going to hang around here to start, lots of places for crops, etc., and away you go. Right? So yeah, it's got a bit of flexibility that way, and again, that's good. Here again, we've got a grain tip and pickup, apparently. Although I haven't yet seen storage for sugar beets or pistados. But there are many farms to go. And as you can see, you've got equipment pretty much everywhere you end up. Now, this is one of the things I really, really dislike about this map. Is these, and the mod author said this was his preference, to have static animals at every farm. Personally, not a fan. Not at all. I'd much rather have that, even though they're the same animated model we see all the time, the little wiggle their ears and waggle their tails little calves. I'd much rather see that here than these static animals. For one, if I didn't own any, hadn't bought any, what's the point of them being there? And everything here is so real. Except them, and they're everywhere. They are everywhere, as we shall see. Alright, so that was in fact Castleview Farm. We started out at the one station, now Castleview Farm, and the other station is there. So now let's head down the road. Here's your let's have a look at a property for sale sign here for a moment while we're here. Land for sale. Contact Sennon Properties. Alright. And 4 hectares. Whew, land's actually pretty cheap. Not bad. Of course, it is simply meadowland. Just, if you're going to plant a crop there, you're going to be doing a fair hunky monkey of work first. But yeah. And again, nicely terrained, all of that. Usual. My favorite thing to hate in the world, hedgerows. But that's okay. Now I think we want to go this way, do we not? Yes, we do. That's going to take us down to the river farm. Alright. Did I go the right way? Yes, I did. Alright. As I said, the map is just gorgeous. Very believable. A little bit hard on your kit, so if you're not running a, medium high to high end machine, you might want to consider toning a few things down in your graphics settings. That also is recommended by the mod author. That's not based on whatever my little, abacus of a computer here will manage. So, here we are. This is River Farm. And again, a really nice looking facility. Really, really nice. And then we get this. Yeah. Shoulder to shoulder. Fake sheep. Well. Anyway, so again, lots of areas for storage. Okay. Perhaps. Well, I guess we get slurry and dung from our sheep as well. Well, that's interesting. Alright, another little fake sheep pit. Now, I'm not sure if we have to... I think that would be a little difficult. I don't think we need to actually dung out the sheep pens. I don't see any sign of that here, no. Yeah, I don't think so. So... good deal. Up to our ears in sheep dung. Alright, here's where they deliver the wool, as it were. Now, I do have real sheep. I don't know where they are, though. Hello? Hello? Woolly Crunchies? Hello? Oh! There they are! Hi, girls! Right on. Right on. At least there is some signs of life. Perfect. Alright, so that's river farms. And again, you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You can get your fertilizer here. You can do all of these sort of things. Each area seems to have that capability. Now, it would be nice to know if any of these things were actually storage or if they're just for sheddage or what. But, hey, we'll get by. See, I'm not sure if that's general grain dump there for the farm area or if that's feed for your sheep. I would imagine it's feed for the sheep. Because there's also a trough there for potatoes. Alright, our sheep eat potatoes. Who knew? Who knew indeed? Huh. Oops. Sorry. A little bit of inefficient driving. Well, just curious as to whether this is an actual, well, possibly, eh? How about we buy ourselves a chainsaw? Okay. No, I don't think so. Alright. Just curious. Thought we'd try and chop down a tree just for the heck of it. But there you go. Oh, here we go. See, we do own this field as well, with a crop in it. I suppose I should slow time down to normal here, just so the day doesn't run out on us. Just trying to have a look around the farm. Alright, now, which of these? No, this is the one I came down, so I'll assume we can go back up the same one. Ah, there's the road. Okay, and I do believe we want to go this way. Next up, let's go and have a look at equipment, supplies, and sales, I guess, is next on our list of things to do, places to go, people to see. Get a good head of steam up here, see if we can't slam into a hedge, because we all know I'm so good at driving on this thing. Alright, what do we got here? A little bit of a campground sort of deal, the looks of it. Very nice. Trap. That's the name of one of the towns here. Well, I guess this town. As opposed to just one of them. This one. So there you go. Welcome to the beautiful downtown Trap. Yes, indeed. And right up here, we find the Sennen tractor dealer. Yeah. Look at that. Nice. Alright. There's a point there to buy and sell your gear. Cool. And then right here is Recon Farm Supplies, where it says you can both store and sell grains. So I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, I guess this is where we can store our sugar beets and our potatoes. Ah, this is timber sales. Very nice. I do like that things are marked accordingly. Here we can sell our wool. We can also buy seeds and ferts, and water troughs, and hay feeders, and pallets, and top quality tree saplings. Oh, okay. And here is our sell point, grain sales. Very nice. I like that everything is laid out really well. I believe this is where we would buy our pallets. Garden shop menu. Yep, we could buy our sapling pallets there. So there you go. A nice little area, eh? And back out to the road we go, and oh, just managed to scrape the bumper around that hedge. Yes, we did. Let's okay, that was Sennon Farm and Actually, I don't think we went all the way up to the farm, did we? Or did we? Let's go back. No, we didn't either. Sennon Farm itself is just up here. This is the second thing I absolutely cannot stand on this map. Is that. I mean, why? I mean, look out there. Look at how real and gorgeous and cool that looks. This isn't even the right resolution. You know? It's a postcard stuck onto the end of the world. Wow. And you bump into it in a few different places during your travels on the map, and that makes it even more disappointing. You know, it's not like, okay, well, whenever we come up this section, we'll ignore it. Nah. I bumped into it a few times, and boy, is it immersion breaking. Even if there'd have been a wrap like that, I don't care that it's paper thin, and every time you get on a hill, you can see through it. But if it had at least been the same definition as the rest of the map, would have been way better. Hello there, pretending to be cows. How you doing? So here's another one of the beef facilities. Again, this is why you actually want to use a trailer to go and collect your beefies. Otherwise, you'll end up coming out here for no reason other than take care of however many of them they split off here. And of course, because they don't actually use real models, they stuff them full of fake ones. Whether you bought any or not, you can't really tell how many are at each station either. So we got a spot down here to drop a couple of greenhouses or something. That's cool. Of course, remember, if you do that, you've got to add the appropriate script mods, UPK or whatever it may be. Alright. So that was Sennon Farm. Let's get ourselves turned about and whoops. Try and watch where we're going. Alright, let's go check out the sawmill and the biogas if I can find them. And we're back out to the main road, and okay, there's a bit of a trick to getting there. We need to go down here. Down here, and then I believe it's this one. Nope. This one? Nope. Where is it? Oh, what the heck? Oh, no, we're almost there. I'm alright. I'm alright. No. Oh, there we go. The sign's right there, tucked under the hedge. Okay, so let's go out and have a look at the BGA and the sawmill. Here we are. Toei Timber Cooperative and AWS Enterprises. Oh, AWS Group. Okay, so here is a Marubian sawmill. Excellent. Always like to see those. Keeps you busy making the sticks into the logs, into the trees, into the boards. You gotta add your woody chips and all that. Happy joy. Awesome. And if you haven't done these before and want to know what's required, just walk up to that sign. Lets you know. Fuel is actually wood chips, by the way. And then you get logs, and you produce wood chips and boards. So yeah. Now I'm assuming, again, pardon me for doing so, most of these run on wood chips. Like you fill this bin, yeah, with wood chip. And that's what it burns as a fuel. Which is convenient because you can bring a loader down and the excess wood chips it spits out as sort of a garbage product, you can load right back into it to keep it running. Over here we have our BGA. So you see we can burn our chips here as well. We've got a couple of decent sized pits, a little bit of storage for your kit. We've got our slurry tank, we've got our digester funnels here, and as you see you will require a front loader. It's too high for a trailer to tip into. Alright. Nice facility, actually. Not bad at all. I do like that this map does fairly represent, you know, a sort of an old world style, but with modern new facilities and such to show that it is, you know, stepping up into the age. No, that's not one of the actual more foresty type areas. So, what shall we check out? Okay, let's go and have a look at the sheep farm. Here we go. Crowded little place, isn't it? Alright. Oh, apparently a dung pit. Don't know. A wee bit of a trailer here. A whole bunch of, yeah, these sheep likes potatoes as well. A whole bunch more wannabe sheeps. A rather thin little storage shed here. Very cool. Yes. Slurry pit. A whole bunch more of these wannabe sheeps. Very nice. So this is a sheep farm, which oddly enough is a sheep farm. Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me. Okay. What else have we got here? Well, but there would be a gate there. Wum, bum, 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 bum. Ta-da. Okay, let's head down to the livestock auction yard. Hello, tons of fake sheepies. I don't know, after gifts of caucuses where even the dogs and cats run around, static animals is just such a drag. And I'm sorry to keep harping on it, but yeah, it's enough that if I had to look at that every time I opened this map up, I just simply wouldn't play it. Again, preference only, you know, because beyond that, this is a great map and well worth playing. So if the static animals don't bother you, I highly recommend this this map for sure. Hill Farm Agricultural Contractors and Farmio Court. Okay, to Court Farm. Here, however, is where you can purchase. I believe it's purchase at any rate. Do we? Okay, Animal market. No, I'm sorry. This is where we can sell $500,000 piggies and beefs and lambs. Ooh, 1,000 a ton for beefs right now. Very nice. So yeah, that's where we would. Yeah, see here again, we run into this thing of a wall. Yeah. So there's that. Let me see if I can somehow, there it is, find me truck. Alright. Let's head up the hill. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. We'll just look this way. Look this way. There we go. And this is da-da-da-da-da-da. Not the BGA and the timber mill. This is oh, contractors yard. My apologies, I didn't There's 3 that are very close to the same color, and I kept going back to the same one, and no, it's this one. So this is your contractor's yard for whatever that's worth. I take it it's just a place to store kit. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, and that... Now, well... Yeah, water point, cool. Let's have a look here. We are... Well, I guess we might as... We haven't quite covered all of it, have we? We still need to go to the livestock auction yard. Oh no, we went there. It's the other station we need to go to. So, there we go. Once again, excuse me. A bit of a dog in me throat. Just keeps barking. Alright, now we want to go, I would think, this way. Yes. No? Oh, right, you're stand-ins for cows. I forgot. Well, I can see why the contractor's yard would be close to this area. It seems we have a lot of our crops concentrated here. And yeah, keep in mind, you're not going to be able to get a hired worker in here because these come awful close to the hedges at the edges. So you're going to be doing a little bit of at least headlands yourself, or maybe auto combine, I suppose, might handle that. I don't know. Alright, here we are. This is Court Farm and our final destination. Well, not quite. I do want to have a look. So you can see this is another beef farm. So again, if you bought your beefies just sort of willy-nilly at the store, well, you can kind of expect they're going to show up there and everywhere else. So. So, very nice. There are a few places where you can go off into the bush and cut some timber, etc. Well, I'm not sure what the area like in Wales is, but they're basically just very much like this, except they have the fir trees. But this is sort of the ground cover, a little bit of splotched grass and dirt. So not the certainly not a BC-ish looking forest, but then this is Wales. It shouldn't look like BC, should it? Alright guys, that's been our look at the Senna Valley map. Again, really nice map. I'm sorry if the couple of biases I have against it maybe gave it a bit of a negative tint. Again, I highly recommend this map. It's stable. It's just an all-around decent map. Equipment size, I guess that's how you'd want to play the map. You know, if you want to take advantage of there being a lot of different areas, personally I'd pick one farm and start sorting all my gear towards that particular one. But, yeah, gorgeous map. Again, not a fan of static animals, but that's a personal thing. You know, if you like them, maybe this is exactly the map for you. Either way, if you like the map review, please hit the like button. Really helps out the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is a darn good time to do it while I aimlessly show how outstanding in this field I truly am. And beyond that, well, take care of each other, folks. We'll see you next time. Ciao for now. Is that a statue up there? Oh no, it's just the top of a tree.